Stay on with us. We have another breaking update coming in, a reaction that is coming from the European nations, including UK, France, Germany and Italy. A joint statement that has been issued by them that mentions that we warmly welcome the announcement of MOU between US and Iran. But most importantly, it also goes on to mention that we are prepared to lift relevant sanctions in response to clear, verifiable steps by Iran on the nuclear program. But also we are learning that Iran has said that nuclear program is not part of the current discussion, so it remains to be seen how this pans out. But at this point in time, UK, France, Germany and Italy have said that countries, they are prepared to lift sanction on Iran in response to steps that it takes on the nuclear program after US and Iran, remember, reached a deal to end their war. And in that statement, they have mentioned that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. We stand ready to work with US, Iran and IAEA to end this, in fact, war. And that is the latest we are learning as far as E4 nations are concerned, including UK, France, Germany and Italy. They have mentioned that they're ready to lift the sanction as well on Iran in response to the step that it takes on the nuclear program. Let me once again bring in my colleague Mayank on this. Mayank, take us through the joint statement that has been issued by these four countries. We are learning UK, France and Germany. Italy has also said that they will be lifting sanction on Iran, but they have a condition in mind that Iran should not have a nuclear program. Give us more details. Also, how European leaders have reacted to this, and have the Gulf countries also reacted to the move that has been made?
Akansha, as far as things are concerned, Qatar has played a significant role. From the Middle East when you talk. Saudi Arabia was also doing its work behind the curtains. So these are the two countries from the Middle East. But as you have already quoted, as far as the European nations are concerned, they have concentrated their views and points specifically on nuclear aspect, which is that Iran should not be acquiring a nuclear bomb, or it should not be enriching the fissile material to the extent of it could be assembled into a nuclear bomb. That's the point, actually. In one of the statements made by the French president, he has also spoken about Lebanon, saying that things would stabilize in Lebanon also, and he's ready to help the government there to achieve the sovereignty. That's a very interesting point I need to bring out. And as far as Keir Starmer from UK is concerned, he's talking about the stability of economy, world economy in that case, and at least Middle East. This is how the things are being viewed by the leaders in Middle East. But then we have to also keep in mind that it has come out in so many words from the Iranian side that as of now, this deal doesn't include any kind of agreement, at least on nuclear issues, because that is going to be a really tricky issue, whether Iran is going to give up all the rights in all forms actually to acquire any kind of a nuclear weapon in future and forever. That's the point. On that aspect, J.D. Vance, which is Vice President of US, he has made a statement that we can safely say that Iran will not acquire a nuclear weapon in future. It makes everything interesting because as of now, there's no, as far as Iran is concerned, there's no talk from that side that they'll be having any kind of a deal on nuclear issues, because from their side, it is specifically about State of Hormuz and the sanctions which are upon Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran. Yeah, Kansha.
All right. Okay, stay on with us. We have another breaking update coming in, because we are learning that shortly after the reported US-Iran peace deal breakthrough, several world leaders, they have reacted very positively. They have welcomed the update. Japan has said that it hopes the agreement is properly implemented and leads to the lasting stability in the region. UK has emphasized that ensuring safe and smooth shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains a key focus. French president has also said that the deal brings the region closer to the peace. Pakistan's Prime Minister has praised both the sides for reaching the understanding, while New Zealand has also called it a positive step that could help reduce the tensions in the Middle East. On that, let me go across to Mr. Eric. Mr. Eric, the world is watching this very closely. Several positive reactions coming in from the world leaders, and expected so, because this did not just affect the West Asia region or the Gulf countries, this affected the entire world.
Well, I think the Strait of Hormuz is the key to this whole deal right now. It's what makes the world go around. Just the 20% or so oil that comes out of that region is is highly effective global. Everyone seems to be pleased, at least with the information that's coming in. All over the world, everyone is showing support for this deal. I think that's also going to apply a little bit of pressure to Iran to make sure that this gets done appropriately, simply because the world is in favor of it. So it's yet to be seen how this is all going to kind of pan out. As my colleagues just made the note that, you know, the nuclear enrichment is not included in this deal. However, J.D. Vance did make those statements that Iran will not acquire nuclear enrichment materials. So there's still some kinks, I think, that need to get worked out. And I think that's why we're seeing this kind of progressed system of this deal, where if Iran cooperates here, they can get extra perks. And, you know, we're not just giving them everything right off the bat. They have to kind of earn their way into getting the full treasure chest, so to speak. So I think there's still some wiggle room to get that done. However, it is very pleasing to the globe from the reports coming in that we are at the point we are at right now.
Absolutely. And big announcement made by U.S. President Donald Trump, something that the world was waiting for. Trump has announced a peace deal between the two nations, but it will be signed in the next 5 days. And we will be keeping you updated about what really happens in those next 5 days. But once that happens, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened, and the naval blockade on the Iranian ships there, the ports there, that will also be lifted. Thanks so much, Mr. Eric and Mayank, for putting that into perspective. With this a very short break, more news and updates on the other side.